Welcome to Fat Ninja Media's recap of UFC 146, held at the MGM Grand Center. 14,000 plus showed up for the event, and the gate was over $3 million. So a very nice show for the UFC. The card was great overall, top to bottom. It was really good. Mike and the Facebook prelims, Mike Brown defeated Daniel Pineda, and what was a really good back and forth. Daniel Pineda coming on strong at the end, but Mike Brown just powering through the beginning two rounds and making it hard for Pineda to come back. In the second match, light heavyweights, Glover Teixeira beat Kyle Kingsbury in a very decisive fashion. His first trip to the UFC and probably won't be his last. Paul Sass beating Jacob Ballman via submission, via the, as people called the Sass bar, as Paul Sass keeps on breaking them arms via the triangle armbar. Jacob Volkman will not be dropped. He will stay in the UFC, much to people's dismay. Everybody thought he was going to be out of the UFC if he lost, but he is not. Dan Hardy also getting a win against Dwayne Bang Ludwig, getting the KO in the first round. CB Dollaway beats Jason Miller being the one of the most boring fights on the card. It was a unanimous decision. Yes, it was a unanimous decision. Mayhem Miller is cut from the UFC following some stuff behind the scenes after the show, and Dana White talked to Ariel Helwani, and basically White said it's probably time for Mayhem to retire. So after losing 2 straight fights in the UFC, he's gone. Jamie Varner comes back to the UFC, and he beats top 10 lightweight in Edson Barbosa in the first round, and a TKO, and no less. So Jamie Varner throwing his hat back into being a top 10, top 20 lightweight in the world, and he is definitely not done in the UFC. So welcome back, Jamie Varner. Darren Elkins defeating Diego Brandao after his win of TUF last year. So Elkins lost the first round, but he came back strong in the next two to beat Brandao. And on the main card, we had LeVar Johnson coming in on short notice, and he lost to Stefan Struve via another armbar in the first round. It was an interesting armbar, but he tapped out to it anyways. Stipe Miocic, he beat Shane Del Rosario, and it just shows you Stipe is here for a while. He's got an excellent chin, and he can motor through a lot of stuff. And after being beaten, it was a really close first round, but he came through, and he definitely took the second round and ended it. Roy Nelson beat Dave Herman via that one hand punch, and just right there, and Nelson and Herman was gone. Cain Velasquez beat Antonio Silva, and it was one of the bloodiest matches in the UFC probably ever. He was cut on his head really badly, and it was just blood pouring everywhere. And if you ever see another fight, if you ever see that fight again, just take a look. It was really bad, and it leads me to wonder, was that really a good test for Cain? Because half the match Antonio Silva couldn't see, so it was really bad. I know you shouldn't, sympathize for Antonio. A win's a win, but was Cain really tested that much? But Cain did handle his business, and he won anyway. So props to Mr. Brown Pride, Cain Velasquez. Junior Dos Santos beats Frank Mir in what we predicted here, although we thought it would go to another round or two more, but he uses a superior boxing to take out Frank Mir and was just not able to stand much of a match. Frank Mir was not able to stand much of a match for Junior Dos Santos. And the original partner, Alistair Overeem, was supposed to face Junior Dos Santos, but he was taken off the card, as you remember. And it all leads us to wonder, would Alistair Overeem even be that much more of a challenge? So no one knows. And the next fight will more than likely be Cain Velasquez versus Junior Dos Santos. And it will probably be in a soccer stadium or something like that to maximize the fans. The winnings last night were bonuses, knockout and submission bonuses, going to Roy Nelson and Dan Hardy were the knockout bonuses, and the submission of the nights were go to Stefan Struve and Paul Sass, and they were both awarded $70,000 each. So a great card overall, and this Friday will be the Ultimate Fighter live finale, and that should be an excellent card as well, and we'll see you next week.